right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, the latest physique update from Keone Pearson. I think a lot of people are talking about this update and really impressed by it because I think what Keone is trying to showcase here is that he has brought his waist down. I think that was the biggest knock and criticism on Keone, aside from the condition at the 2025 212 Mr. Olympia. A lot of people talking about his midsection, especially in that side ab pose, which he hits here. So I think, number one, that's what he's trying to showcase. The midsection is tight. The midsection is down. He's got it under control, even in the side ab pose. The vacuum pose just looks absolutely just a stunning pose for him. Now, in addition to this physique update, Keone also did say this on his story. He said, P.S. You guys are hilarious if you think I'm playing the size game this weekend. I'm playing my game, the perfect physique for me. So obviously a lot of conversation about Keone versus Samson, Keone versus Krizo, Keone versus Martin. Keone's first ever, that's why it's called an open debut, his first ever open show. Will Keone get out-muscled? Will he get outsized? Will he look small in this lineup? Will he not look like this pound-for-pound best bodybuilder that some people think he is? And I would use some open guys as an example here. Yes, Keone is a shorter bodybuilder. Yes, he comes from 212. And I'm not even going to use the example of Derek Lunsford because I know people don't like Derek. He came from 212. He has now won 2 Open Olympias. I think he's actually slightly taller than Keone, but I'll use Hadi as an example. Hadi's about 2 inches taller than Keone, Hadi Chupin. And Hadi's estimated stage weight is about 230 pounds, but let's even just say it's in the 230s. We're still talking about 60, 70 pounds lighter than Samson. And Hadi still beat Samson, even though he didn't win the Olympia, so some people might say he did. Him and Derek both beat Samson despite there being a pretty big size difference. Not just height. I think pound for pound, Samson does look a lot bigger than them. Even at 280 instead of 300, and Samson is supposedly going to be at 300 pounds for this Prague show. And the same with Derek. I mean, his stage weight is reportedly between 225 and 235 pounds for open, and he's about 5'6". I think we can probably expect to see Keone compete around 220 here. So, if anything, we're talking about relatively the same height, a little bit shorter than Derek and Hadi, but maybe 10, 15 pounds lighter than a Derek or a Hadi Chupin. And he may even be slightly heavier than 220. I know that he struggled making weight for the 212 Olympia, and I think he was even 220 just like a week out from the 212 Olympia in great shape. And we're about to find out exactly how good Keone is really at this Prague show. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people how well Keone does. I know there's a lot of people that think Keone is going to get out-muscled, and that's going to be the situation that he's going to look small and kind of get lost in the mix. I really don't think that's going to be the case. I think Keone is going to do surprisingly well here, and I think he has a surprisingly good chance of winning the show. And again, you look at this physique update from Michael Krizo, just fresh off of his British Grand Prix win. Krizo looks incredible. I mean, this most muscular, I think it's more impressive than Samson's. A ton of detail in the legs, a ton of detail in the upper body, big, full, imposing. Like, who even would you guys say at this point is the favorite to win this Prague show? I mean, I'm sure people are leaning towards Samson as the favorite. He's got the highest Olympia placing in open, although Keone is the only one in this lineup that won an Olympia title this year. You know, Keone and Krizo both, neither of them competed at the Olympia this year, so we don't know where they would have placed. There's a lot of people saying that this is the best version of Krizo ever. Can Krizo beat a Samson or a Keone or a Martin? And granted, this is only one pose. It's only showing him from the front, but he looks really impressive. And I think when you put it side by side with the Samson Dauda update, where Samson is weighing 300 pounds before the Prague show, I think Krizo looks a lot more impressive than Samson in the most muscular. And again, it's just one pose. It's just from the front. It's the only update that we've seen of Krizo other than him actually competing at the British Grand Prix. But he looks, to me, more impressive than Samson here. So is there a chance that we continue to see an off version of Samson? So far, 2025 has not been Samson's year. At the Arnold Classic, he was off. That's really why he lost the Arnold. At the Olympia, he was off and dropped to 4th. So far, we have not seen Samson on in 2025. So if we see that happen in Prague, if we see Samson come in off, and I'll just pull up these pictures that Samson posted yesterday, and I believe these are from before the Olympia, by the way. I don't think these are from this week, so I'm pretty sure I saw Samson post these a few weeks ago. So I don't think these are this week recent, but they were a little bit before the Olympia. If Samson is off again here, and I know that he's trying to get to 300 pounds and bring a fuller look, let's keep in mind, it's 2 weeks between the Olympia and Prague. A 20-pound weight difference on stage in 2 weeks, it could go one of two ways. He could look absolutely mind-blowingly incredible, a lot better than the Olympia, or it could be a very bad thing and it could go south. He could look really watery. He could look really out of shape. He could look big and full but really soft. So is there a world where going into this show, is Samson not the favorite to win this thing? And I'm not saying that I necessarily think that. Personally, I think it's going to be between Samson and Keone for those 1 and 2 spots. That's how I think it's going to go. I think the winner of Prague will either be Samson or it's going to be Keone. But is there a chance that that does not happen and Samson finds himself in a bad situation in Prague? Does Samson find himself out of the top 3? Does he find himself out of the top 2? If for the 3rd time this year he kind of drops the ball, do the judges say, you know, this isn't going to cut it. This isn't a good enough version of yourself and you're kind of getting worse so show to show? Because if we're being honest, he was off at the Arnold, but I think he looked worse at the Olympia. So what happens if he looks worse in Prague and he's showing, you know, a regression in his physique? Do the judges penalize him and say, okay, you're not top 2 here? But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What is your top 3 for the show? What are your predictions based on the updates that we've seen, based on the results of the Olympia, now factoring in that Krizo won the British Grand Prix? Who do you have winning? What's your top 3 in order? It's pretty hard to predict. Now, the final story that I have for you guys today. You guys may have seen there's been a controversy about the Masters Olympia, the competitors that won still not having been paid. The show was back in early August, so it's been about 2.5 months now since the show. Jake Wood has directly responded to this. So he says, it has been brought to my attention that the Tokyo-based promoter of the Masters Olympia has not yet fulfilled the agreed-upon prize money obligations to the athletes. So that first paragraph, he is kind of passing the buck to the promoter in Tokyo, even though he owns the Olympia. It is technically his show. In light of this development, I will personally be advancing the prize money payments in order to prevent any further delays. My office will be contacting each athlete individually to initiate the payment process. Jake Wood, Olympia Productions LLC, and the owner. I think this is a story to keep an eye on. Make sure that the athletes actually get paid now that Jake has stuck his neck out and actually said he's going to do it himself. And I was actually talking to Phil Klahar, I guess it was a couple nights ago now, and I was looking through some of the emails and stuff that he sent me, reaching out, trying to get his, trying to figure out the situation with the money. And when I was looking through his emails today before I made this video, I just saw that Jake posted the announcement that he's taking care of it. So hopefully that is the case and these guys actually get paid. And I think it does make it a little bit more irritating for the athletes when it's one of these shows that's really out of the way. I mean, it was in Japan, the Masters Olympia. So there was a lot of cost associated with them getting there to compete in the first place. So that delay in prize money for the people that earned it, I'm sure it's significant. I mean, it's not cheap to travel internationally to go compete in Japan. So I'm sure it probably is more than just a little bit annoying for them to have to wait and wonder when they're getting their money. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Click that bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. my Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power, my secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel, and consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.